Hey there, today is going to be a short video on voice. So I'm going to start to briefly describe the market, all right, where it's applicable, what types of services you can subscribe to. Then we're going to head over to ElevenLabs and look at the setup for a conversational AI agent. So let's first briefly talk about what voice is. So you know all of the AI agents are able to now you're able to converse with them. There's a great example on ElevenLabs websites. We're going to look at it in a minute. But in general, if we're looking at the market and in terms of startups for voice agents, all of this data has been taken from the Andreessen Horowitz the investment firm, so you can look at it, and I will link it below as well. So you see that most of the startups, and these are the B2B startups, are in either fintech, operation, medical, edtech. There's here hospitality, coaching, home services, marketing, recruiting with 4.5%, and then all of the rest. So most of the startups are targeting B2B companies, healthcare, and a smaller part is targeting B2C to end consumers, 13.5%, but the vast majority, close to 70%, is targeting B2 businesses with their solutions. Now, in general, when we are talking about the market, I think that the best argument today for voice agents is service. I think that having a great customer service, as we will see on the ElevenLabs, is definitely, for me, a huge selling point. If we look at the startups by industry, so this is all of the startups for B2B. So you see there are already so many startups for home services, restaurants, recruiting, training, logistics, auto dealers, real estates, so many startups. Each of these startups are specialized in a specific industry. Then you have the bigger companies, right? Like ElevenLabs, Vapi, Blend AI. They are all they're vertically so integrated, so they can work with any of these industries. And then you have the B2C companies like we saw earlier, and these are all of these the voice startups in this area. And you see there's therapy, there's companionship, assistance, productivity, there's voice agents for kids. So you can really go crazy. But I think that the overall, and here are the leading players, right? So you see we're going to look at ElevenLabs, but you can check Retail AI. I've heard great things about them. You can check Vapi. I've heard great things about him, and Blend AI. I think that, and this is also what the document said, that for technical things and technical questions, this is going to be the future, right? So let's head over to ElevenLabs. Let's look at first the pricing and the setup, and maybe you'll want to try something out for yourself. I already have a voice agent on my side, on my website. Actually, it's been very, very simple to set up. The key to make it work is adding enough knowledge, and so I'm still working on it. It's not perfect. It's far from perfect, but let's start. So when you head over to ElevenLabs.io, you have a few pricing options. You have the free. You can start immediately and try playing around with it. There's a starter that gives you 50 minutes of conversational AI per month, and then there's the creator pack, which includes 250 minutes of conversational AI per month. So that's just the pricing, so you know. Let's go over, now that you know how to create an account, let's go to the ElevenLabs dashboard, and let's look at over what you need to do to get started for yourself. So on the left side, you'll see conversational AI. First, if you have a paying account, either the $5 or the $11 a month, you'll be able to clone your voice. I've cloned my voice. I'm on the $11 a month just for trying it out. You can have a listen to how it sounds. What it sounds.
Dinosaurs drift on silent continents of dreams and memory.
The sound is, I mean, it's so perfect. Plus, I have a difficult voice because I'm Belgian. I'm French speaking, and so my accent is, it's difficult to nail it. But if you're like American or Australian, or you just have a local English American accent, the cloning is going to be perfect. I use my YouTube videos and another file to that has like some special pronunciations, but the cloning turned out perfect. So anyways, you can clone your voice, right? And it's really easy. You can either instant clone. With the $5 a month, you can already instant clone your voice with only 2 minutes of audio. 10 seconds of audio, sorry. So it's super fast. And then you can do a professional voice clone like the one I did. And then you can add as many voice samples as you like, and it takes about 2 hours or something. And you only have play one slot for one. But anyways, let's head over to the conversational AI. And just to give you an idea maybe on what how it could be used for you. So here are the agents, and let's create a new agent. So I'm just testing out, and you can start with a blank template or a support agent. Let's choose for a support agent because it had already these like a few prompts in it. Please name your agent, website support. Let's call it. All right. And so we'll go over the settings. So the agent language, that's the language you're going to choose. If there's an additional language, you can choose the additional language here. And the first message is, hi, I'm Eric, or your agent's name, and how can I help you today? So you can choose whatever name. If you have a really good professional voice clone and you want to do, hey, I'm Carlo, how can I help you today? That's fine. And here's the system prompt. You're a support agent named Eric. You are friendly, very friendly and enthusiastic, and really want to help the customer get the help they need. Answer in 3 to 7 sentences in most cases. So I'd like to add this 3 to 7 or maybe even lower it, just because keeping in mind that you want to help the customer, you don't want to drag the conversation out too much, and ultimately, it's costing you money. So whenever, if it's your agent, whenever people are, you're dragging it out, you're paying from the first second people press on the talk to an agent. So it doesn't matter how much he's talking, the agent is talking, or your customer is talking. You want to keep the conversation brief. So dynamic variables in your prompts, if you have, I mean, that's maybe a separate topic, but if you have dynamic data, just like specific to that customer, like a specific purchase he did, or a specific program he or she is enrolled in, you can add that to the conversation. So you have a few LLMs to choose from. Currently, the LLM cost is covered by ElevenLabs. In the future, this cost will be passed on to us. There's a few choices here. So you have the Gemini, Gemini 2.0, Gemini 1.5, and this is greatly going to affect the response time. So I usually would go with Gemini 1.5, which is the fastest, because that's how you're going to, if the response is too slow, it's not going to feel comfortable for you to talk to. So go with the fastest, and and you can always adapt it later if you're feeling that the responses aren't accurate. Temperature, you can choose it. It's between 0 and 1. Okay, and the temperature is a parameter that controls the creativity or randomness of responses generated by the LLM. So here, I mean, the limit token usage. Configure the maximum token, the number of tokens that the LLM can predict. A limit would be applied if the value is greater than 0. I would leave it at -1. And here's the knowledge base. So that's probably the most important thing you can invest your time in. And you can create a document. And there's a few ways you can add documents. You can either drag and drop a file. It's PDF, text, document, HTML, it's a book. You can add an URL. You can add the URL of your website, and you can add just, copy paste text. So obviously you can just add your website, but I feel that, so what I did for my website is then I went over to DeepSeek and I asked him, look, can you create 100 questions for me? Questions that a visitor of my website might ask himself regarding, coaching. Okay. And then because I am not, I didn't want to type in the 100 answers, I just went over to a voice recorder online. Let me just show you online voice recorder. So that's the website, all right, onlinevoicerecorder.com, and you just press record, and I just answer these questions one by one, all right, and then I transcribed that MP3 to text, and I added the text to the knowledge base. It takes some time. It won't take you very long. Like the whole process maybe will take you half an hour, maybe at the most, but you really want to make sure that you feed the agent with relevant information, because it's going to get frustrating. The first agent I made on my website couldn't give me really good answers, and that's not how you want it to be. So let's continue. That's the agent. Now the voice, you can choose whatever you want here, right? You can choose the voice either of your voice, your clone that you made, or you can choose another one. So this is mine.
Dinosaurs drift on silent continents of dreams and memory.
See, it's really similar to my voice, but you can have another conversational.
Gratitude is riches, complaint is poverty.
Just trust yourself, then you...
So here I would try a few, but I would really go for the conversational agents, right? There are some more, more narrative and story agents, and that's not really what you want. So you really want to choose a conversational agent right here. You see like news, they don't...
The years teach much, which the days never know.
Doesn't sound natural, all right? So use a conversational agent, either yours or another one. Use Flash, you can leave that turned on. The TTS output format is basically, it's not on the lowest, it's on 16,000 hertz. I think that the higher you will put it, the slower it's going to be, right? So pronunciation, dictionaries, if you have a specific pronunciation for something, add it here. Optimize streaming latency. These are all features that I'm not touching. So configure latency optimization for the speech generation. Latency can be optimized at the cost of quality. All right. Stability, higher values makes the speech more consistent, but it also can make the sound more monotone. Lower values will make the speech sound more expressive, but may lead to instability. But if you're just starting out, I would leave all of these settings, optimize streaming latency, stability, similarity. I would just leave them as default. You can define custom criteria to evaluate the conversation against. So, like, when you have, I don't know, a few conversations a day, you're going to you'll want to know if the conversations are successful or not. And the way you're doing it is by adding a prompt. right here. All right. So the goal prompt criteria passes the conversation transcripts together with a custom prompt to the LLM that verifies if a goal was met. The result will be one of the three values, so either a success, a failure, or unknown, as well as a rationale describing why the given result was chosen. So maybe I can show you a conversation I had with another agent before we head back to this dashboard. So here we are seeing the other agents, and you're seeing the mentor agent. Let's have a look at the conversation history. And you're seeing first here, you're seeing success. Here I had a 1 minute conversation with the agent. So you have all of the transcript, and then the prompt, and that's what and then you have an overview, right? The conversation begins with a user inquiring about services offered. The agent explained that they provide AI solutions to streamline work processes and coaching services to improve team leadership. So anyways, this is so you can always go back and see what people discuss, which is pretty amazing. And then you have the call status success. And that's what the prompt that we're about to add really evaluate. Oh, wait. If, for example, the question answered, or if you question answered. So I don't know, evaluate if all the questions have been answered. You have to play around with it and see how it, depending on your goal. If you're a coach, if you're a coaching school, if you're like a service provider, really depending on what services you offer. But think for yourself, what makes a successful conversation, right? So this is really important because it's going to help you analyze the conversation. And then all of these tabs, so security and advanced, is something that I'm not going to get into it. It's also something that I leave on default. And then finally, that's the widget. So, right, but it's super easy to add this widget right here that you're seeing right here below to your website. So if you've added the voice agent, you added your voice, you added the knowledge, you've set up the success criteria. Once you've done that, it's just a question of copy pasting into any website, and you'll have that agent. And you can customize the agent. So here is the appearance, and you can play around with it, but you can play around with the text color, the background color, the button color, and you can change the need help with whatever, talk to me or talk to whoever. Instead of start a call, you can ask a question. So this is something you can really play around with. But the way it looks on my website, I can show you. So here it is. Need help, start a call. So that's how it looks. It's the default, and it's really easy to implement. All you need to do is add I think whether it's you're on WordPress, Wix, Webflow, the setup is so simple. You can probably embed it on any website you want. So that was a short overview of the market. I really think you should get into it or start exploring voice agents, just because, first of all, they're super easy to set up. All right. So, it really literally takes about 20 minutes to set up, maybe 1 hour if you need to work on the knowledge base. And obviously, 80% of the work is going to be the fine tuning and the optimization of the agents. But you can get one agent up and running pretty fast. That's the first thing. Two, I think it's the future. Voice agents, your competitors, whatever field you are in, your competitors are ultimately going to have voice agents, whether it's like hotels, receptionists, or the HVAC guy who's answering call, or it's coaching evaluation, or whatever you're going to, whatever field you are in, voice agents are the next thing. I think that most of the venture capitalists today and big investment firms are, doubling down on voice. It makes sense because people want to talk with other people. And the voices are getting way more real. It's super responsive. You can interrupt and gets that you're interrupting. And it just works in many languages, just amazing. So I really think it's the future. I think you should get started with it, just play around with it. And yeah, that's it for today. If you have any question, leave it in the comment below. Peace.